I'm just going through the test like from 11 o'clock. Let's see. I got 42% battery power. I'm just going through the test like this is a ooh, that was scary. I'm going through the test like this is a weird quiz asking some really weird questions. Like, for example, which it was the ASPIE quiz that asked questions like, do you follow your partner around the room? And do you like bubbles? Like, are you fascinated by bubbles and the star shape in the core of an apple? I'm just like, I'm sitting there, I'm answering these questions. I'm like, who's not? Who isn't? Because as a kid, don't every kid like bubbles? And I'm thinking, why is it my fault that I still like something that I liked as a kid? Why is it my fault that I'm consistent and every other adult doesn't want to be consistent in what they like? They want to switch up and change as they get older. But yeah, that's just an example of the types of questions. So, the ASPIE quiz was one of the most like comprehensive quizzes I had taken. I think it was one of the longest, and it gave me a PDF file to download for free after I was done. And I liked that because I felt like that was validity, because the other tests, I had to not take their response at all, because I would take the test and they would try and make me pay for something. So I would click off those tests. But yeah, the ASPIE quiz was the one that I ended up sending to the clinical psychologist, psychiatrist. She didn't prescribe medicine. She was a clinical psychologist who worked in disability and wrote, I don't know what it is that you, reports, stuff like that, that are catered toward getting you assistance, right? So I was really honestly blessed to have found her, not too far away from home either. Um, yeah, so when the ASPIE quiz came back, and that was one of the last quizzes I took, uh, right there at the top of the PDF, it was like 100% neurodivergent. And I can't even remember my reaction to that. 100%. So, after that, I really started to panic. And I just hate, oh my God, I just hate when, like, the deeper down this hole I've gone, it's like people, the way they paint this process is, I know everybody feels differently. Everybody has a different support system, family life, situation that they can be happy to find out these types of things about them. But, like, I don't know, I just feel like I just feel like it was kind of disingenuous because it felt like all the videos I was watching, these girls were happy, like that they finally found out what was wrong. And I thought that I would be happy too, but I feel like as time went on and I started to like realize I can't even explain this process of you living your life for 25 years. We all do things behind closed doors that nobody sees. That's a little bit weird. But I was under the impression that everybody does certain things behind closed doors. And to find out that no, if you do that, that means you got something wrong with you that cannot be fixed. To learn that overnight, like truly overnight, because it was in the middle of the night that I was taking these tests, and doing and watching all these videos. But to literally learn that overnight, it's like bittersweet because it's like, okay, you may not be mentally ill. It's not mental illness causing this, but at least you can solve mental illness. You know what I mean? Like you can manage it. You can get better from it. You can recover from mental illness. Some of them. All of you just sustain yourself. It's just the fact that you can, if it was mental illness, you could live a normal life. That has nothing to do with your brain fundamentally. But to have to find out that something is fundamentally wrong with your brain at 25, oof. Not just that, but on top of that, like to find out something has been fundamentally wrong your entire life, and the people closest to you were so uninterested in you that they didn't notice any of these red flags that are now just glaring at you yourself and have been blaring like subconsciously at everybody else, and that's why they've been treating you so horrible your whole life. But the people closest to you swear that they didn't notice anything wrong. I'm gonna give you one example of something that happened very, very early in my life, that like earliest, that should have been a red flag to my parents, but nothing was done. Gratefully, it was written down in a baby book, but then nothing was done with it. That's why I have this information, because this stuff got written down in a baby book. It was noted down. It was that crucial that it was noted down in a baby book, but it got taken nowhere. So one of those things is, yeah, it's written down at like me at like 1.5 or 2, that I would cry when a man came into the room, like just a man, a male human being. I just need to ask, I know that's not normal. Just for common sense reasoning, babies don't really understand gender. Not that they don't really, they don't at all. So, I'm having a hard time I'm having a really hard time even unpacking that one observation.